You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into your Wednesday, August 7th edition of Good Morning Vail. We love getting to be here each and every morning and bring you some great information. Now, back to school is right around the corner, and we've got an entire episode dedicated to getting kids back to school, not only in style, talking about better buses and safety for our kids, and then Proposition 138 and what it could mean for Colorado residents and how you can get involved to make your voices heard on Proposition 138. And for those of you who don't know what it is, well, stay tuned because we're going to be explaining it here in just a little bit. Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Let's take a look at that local weather forecast for today. We are expecting increased chances of precipitation later into the afternoon. 61 degrees around 8 a.m., a high of 79, 50% chance of rainfall. Afternoon thunderstorms are likely with winds coming out of the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour, so that slight breeze helping cool it down just a little bit. Now, as we take a look at Vail by the hour, you can see cloud coverage throughout the course of this morning into the early afternoon. That high settling in between that 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock hour, and then after that 4 o'clock hour is when we're going to see those scattered thunderstorms appear, mostly cloudy skies as we approach this evening. As we take a look at that I-70 corridor, temperatures down in Denver definitely nice and warm. 94 degrees, 20% chance of precipitation, 78 in Vail with a 50% chance of moisture, 83 in Avon with a 50% chance of precipitation, decreasing just slightly as we make our way west towards Eagle, 86 degrees with a 40% chance of moisture. So if you are getting along that I-70 corridor later into the afternoon, just give yourself that little bit of extra travel time because we do tend to see some standing water and we just want everyone to be nice and safe out there. Now, as we take a look at Vail overnight tonight, temperatures are cooling down. 53 degrees is our overnight low. 20% chance of rain continuing overnight tonight, partly cloudy skies. That sun setting earlier and earlier by the day now. 8:13 p.m. is when we're going to see that sun go down. Wind shifting directions coming out of the south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour throughout the course of this evening. Now, as we take a look ahead into the next 5 days, increased chances of precipitation continuing throughout the week. 40% chance of moisture tomorrow with a high of 78. Temperatures dropping to 72 degrees on Friday with a 50% chance of precipitation. 75 degrees on Saturday with a 50% chance of moisture. That's going to increase as we make our way into Sunday with a 60% chance of precipitation and a high of 73 degrees. Temperatures dropping into the low 70s throughout the course of the next 5 days. So if you are getting out there to do anything, just make sure that you've got your rain jacket with you. But for all of you mountain bikers out there, this means you're going to see some hero dirt each and every day. So make sure that you get your mountain bike all geared up and you make your way out to the trails. Now we're going to introduce you to a great company. It's called Nantucket Rope Bracelets, and what created Nantucket Rope Bracelets and why they're so special and unique. Are you looking for a great accessory? I know I never take mine off, and this is a Nantucket rope bracelet, and I'm joined by the owner and founder, Rex Dean. Good morning, Rex.
Good morning, Maddie. It's nice to see you today. Thank you for having me on the morning show.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It's lovely to have you, and it's lovely to have one of your bracelets here on my wrist. I haven't taken it off since I've received it. So let's talk a little bit more in depth about the history of the Nantucket rope bracelet.
Sure. So Nantucket rope bracelets are part of the sailing community around the world. And what took place is for hundreds of years, the way of transportation was by sailboat. And sailors, when they had free time, which wasn't very much, would decorate common areas of the ship, maybe hand railing or the ship's wheel. And this became a tradition, particularly on the ship's wheels, and to do fancy rope work. Rope bracelets became a real common behavior for sailors as they were getting ready to leave on a voyage. They would make a bracelet and give it to a friend or a loved one, and it would be a reminder of their friendship or love or relationship to carry with them. And so the history is really about being remembered and trying to instill a sense of connectivity to someone when you're not there.
Which is such a great way to celebrate and carry the love of someone with you. Now, how did you get started with the Nantucket rope bracelets?
So, as a child, I was in the Bahamas sailing extensively when I was 15 years old, and an older sea captain saw me playing around, learning knots and things, and he took the time and taught me how to make and tie fancy rope knots. Whether it be this particular knot is called the Turk's head, and then he taught me how to tie, many knots, and how to make quality, whether it be a bracelet or a doormat or a keychain or lashing a wheel. So from 15 years old, I started making these, and I've been making them for over 50 years.
Wow, what a great legacy of a bracelet. I feel so honored to be wearing one. And now, what makes them so special as people are interested in getting their hands on some?
These are very unique, handmade, with the best quality material in the marketplace.
I can feel that in the quality of my bracelet because I absolutely love it. Now, if someone's interested in getting their hands on a bracelet, how does the ordering process work?
Go to our website, which is nantucketropebracelet.com. And there you can select a color, a size, and we will ship that out to you pretty much anywhere in the United States. We don't do much internationally. I have clients internationally, but they just pick up the phone and I send them off to them. One of the unique aspects is we do custom work. So it's really almost limitless of what you can get at Nantucket Rope Bracelets. And we really enjoy the smiles and the happiness that we generate as people make their orders and we fulfill those commitments.
Make sure that you check out nantucketropebracelets.com. That way you can order yours because it's a great fashion piece that you can wear all year round. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
Stevie Lee Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces.
Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi there! Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
With back to school right around the corner, it's important that we think about school bus safety and the Better Buses campaign. Well, I'm joined by Tucker Perkins, who's going to give us some more information. Good morning, Tucker.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Now, you've got quite a lengthy job title, so I'm going to allow you to tell us what you do and the acronym for PERC.
Well, PERC is the acronym for the Propane Education and Research Council. We really help to make users of propane feel comfortable, be aware of all the safety features. We really are thinking every day about how to use propane in new and novel ways to benefit the users and the environment. Today we're talking about propane school buses, something we've worked on for a decade or more, because there has to be a better way. Children go to school today the way I went to school, in a dirty diesel school bus. You've seen the cloud of black smoke. When you choose a propane school bus, that cloud of black smoke is gone. Better for the child, better for the community, better for the environment.
And what should we know about the school bus's impact on our children right now?
Well, what you should know is the way in which your child goes to school impacts their performance at school. Really important. When we go into a modern propane school bus, it's quieter, it's cleaner, the children arrive calmer, ready to learn, they arrive healthier, they're in a school attending more days, they're not home sick with bronchitis or asthma. It gives them a solid start to the school day, and they actually do better at school when they go to school in a propane-powered school bus.
These are all some great tips for us as parents to know why we should switch. So what are some other alternative options that we should look for, and why should we continue to look for these?
Well, as we think about school buses of the future, there are only two types of fuel we'll even consider, I think. Propane is one, and battery electric is the other. Colorado is a great example where propane is often the fuel chosen because of those cold mornings or particularly hot days, high mountains, difficult duty for electric, easily done by propane, no concerns about range or payload. They're warm in the mornings. So there's a lot of reasons to think about either propane or electric. But in Colorado, you've had a great start choosing propane school buses, and that's because propane buses work really well for the children on their way to school in Colorado.
Now, it's really important that we know more about the carbon footprint that will make a difference. So how is this better for the environment?
Yes, absolutely. I think everything we do, we need to think about health, we need to think about energy security, we need to think about affordability, but we really need to think about the climate. Propane buses are better for the climate, lower greenhouse gases than both diesel and gasoline. But even if we think about the electric grid and we think about 60% of the grid today is made from coal, oil, and natural gas, propane today can be equal to or lower than the environmental footprint even for the electric grid. And that's as we talk about conventional propane. Soon we'll be talking about renewable propane, zero carbon, negative carbon. We're already doing it for school systems in California, Oregon, Washington State, and we'll soon be doing it for the school systems in Colorado using zero carbon renewable fuels.
Are there other benefits that we should be aware of?
Yeah, there's a financial benefit. And I think as we talked about school buses of the future, a propane school bus costs 1/3 the initial cost of an electric bus. And it's really not about whether you choose propane or electric. It's by choosing propane, you save enough money to get rid of that aging dirty diesel fleet 3 times faster. That's the real value. Certainly propane buses operate for half the cost of diesel buses, but the real benefit is how fast can we get rid of those old dirty diesel buses and move into a modern fleet powered by propane.
Now, there is some government funding available, so can you please give us more information about that?
Yeah, we're happy to say that EPA sees the value in clean school buses. They have the Clean School Bus Program. Had $5 billion, they still have $2 billion to help school systems cut the initial cost of choosing a propane school bus.
Now, if people want more information and they want to get involved, where can they go for that?
We want them to get involved, so we created a website, betterourbuses.com, a place for parents to go to learn the facts, learn how to ask the right questions, and then engage with their local school systems about how they can give their children this healthier, quieter, safer ride to school.
Tucker, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this great information, and making sure that parents are aware of the carbon footprint cut down and how it can be safer and healthier for their kids.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure that you follow up with more information. That way you can see all of those facts on why it's so much better to have propane school buses. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
This is Necklace. This easy-to-use, non-surgical alternative improves the appearance of sagging skin around your neck and jawline. Made from medical-grade tape, Necklace lasts up to 10 hours, giving you a firmer, smoother look all day long. Women everywhere are thrilled with the results.
Necklace is my time machine, and I'm loving life again.
Necklace is way better than surgery. It's cheaper and it's easier.
Use the on-screen QR code or visit sagnomore.com to order now. We even give you a money-back guarantee. Try Necklace today.
We are here at Rugs Benedict in Avon with one of the owners, Mandy Benedict. Mandy, how are we doing today?
Fantastic. Great morning.
And today we are talking about waterproof flooring, which is so important out here in the Rocky Mountains, whether you're winter skiing, snowboarding, and you got wet boots, or in the summer and you're playing outside. But waterproof flooring, tell me about it.
So it's really fantastic for our busy mountain lifestyle. And like you mentioned, whether it's ski boot traffic, a rental area, or if you just have some furry friends that like to go play in the creeks and run into the house, it's a great option for having that beautiful wood floor look, but having something that's not so sensitive to moisture.
Definitely, and this is obviously great for kind of one of those entrance rooms or a mud room, or also just an entire house made with this, right?
Yeah, we definitely have been doing entire homes with this floor. If you have, big dogs, they're very, very scratch resistant as well. So if you have things like whether big dogs or kids, heavy traffic, like I mentioned, great for rental environments or just busy mountain lifestyles where you don't want to have to kind of be a slave to your floor. This is very durable.
Definitely, and we have so many options here and different warranties that come with each one, but let's take a look at some of these, right?
Yeah, so really any color that you're looking for, any style. If you want a reclaimed look, if you want a marble look, if you're looking for just a really sleek European oak or a walnut floor, we have anything that will, look like wood or look like stone and tile that we can do with this waterproof flooring.
Yeah, and it all looks so beautiful here in the shop in Avon at Rugs Benedict. What do people need to know about waterproof flooring?
The waterproof flooring, there are quite a few different things as far as like sound abatement. We work with a lot of condo associations. There are specific underlayments that you need to use and installation requirements. So our in-house employee installers are amazing at that, but we come out and do free estimates. So basically anything you need to know, our flooring design team and our estimators will clue you in on everything perfect for your property.
I love that. Rugs Benedict, so much more than rugs. All your flooring needs here. Anything else I should ask? Anything else people should know about waterproof flooring?
Just come in and explore, see all the options that there are.
Come on down to Rugs Benedict here in Avon and check out your next flooring project.
Join us on the famous Leadville Railroad. This historic train ride takes you on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for an afternoon of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Our scenic train rides are a perfect place to bring families closer together while immersing them in the natural beauty and rich history of this picturesque region. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Make memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets available at LeadvilleRailroad.com.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show. Now, Proposition 138 is something that not many Coloradans know about. Well, we're lucky we're joined by Nathan Cuneen, who's going to give us some more information. Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Now you have quite the job title, as you have a very long one, so I'm going to let you explain it.
I'm the Director of Strategic Analysis at the American Federation for Children, which is the nation's largest school choice advocacy organization. Essentially, we fight to create opportunities for students around the country so that every student and every family can select the best school, the best education that's right for their kids.
Now I have some questions because Proposition 138 is going on our ballot here in Colorado, hopefully this election season. And so for people who don't know about Proposition 138, can you give us a brief overview?
Sure. Proposition 138 is an effort to codify the right to school choice into the Colorado Constitution. And this is majorly important and should be a massive wake-up call to the legislators in Colorado's capital. The people of Colorado, families want school choice options. Parents want to be able to select the best school that's right for their kid. Look, every kid is different. Every student learns differently. It's ridiculous to assume that one type of school can serve every single kid. I believe that every single family should have the right to choose where the best place for their kid is, whether that's a traditional public school or a charter school or a magnet school or a private school. When I was growing up, I had the benefit of using a private school choice scholarship that completely changed my life, set me up on the pathway to success. And I think that there are a lot of other families, a lot of other kids out there that are looking for that same opportunity. I think it's time for Colorado to give it to them.
I think it's so interesting that this is something that's not been on our radar before. Now you guys are bringing such a bright light to it. Now, what are some of the pros that we would see impact the kids?
Right. Well, there's a long history of school choice in this country, and the results for students have been overwhelming. Huge academic gains for students when they get to access the kinds of environments that work for them. But most importantly, I think, and this is one of the things most people don't know about school choice, is there is extremely strong academic evidence that shows when you create broader and more expansive school choice programs, the public school system gets better in response to competition. There's a huge amount of data on this from the state of Florida. When school choice expanded, not only did the kids in those choice schools get better, but the students in the next door public schools also got better because they were competing to create value for students.
Now, this is all such great information, and as people are kind of looking towards it, some questions that may arise are what happens if one school is selected over a bunch of other schools and that school becomes overpopulated?
Right, that's a great question. One of the things that we've seen around the country as these school choice programs have been adopted is the supply of schools is rising to meet demand. That question that you just asked is especially relevant to rural communities where maybe there aren't a lot of additional school options. One of the things that we've seen is that the passage of these broad-based school choice programs are prompting schools to open in localities that maybe they weren't incentivized to open before. And we're seeing a huge increase in the number of providers that are opening and expanding in order to accompany or to take care of all the students who want choice.
And then, of course, as we're looking at transportation for kids, if they want to maybe go to a private school that's not in their school district, what's that impact going to be like on the parents?
Right. This is another really great question, a really great point that I think a lot of people don't know about is in a lot of these school choice programs, we structure transportation into the program so that students and families can use portions of their education dollars to pay to transport their kids to a school of their choice, because this is a real problem for a lot of Americans. And that's a really important thing that we need to make sure so that students have access. Places like Florida, places like Iowa, places like Oklahoma is one of those states where you can use a portion of your school choice money to help pay for transportation in the case that that's a difficult thing for your family.
I think it's really important, especially because obviously Colorado is a very large outdoor lifestyle community, and there are kids who want to go to specific schools for their sports, not only their academics, but their sports as well. And so this will kind of help balance that out too.
That's absolutely, people select their school for a variety of reasons. we think that a high academic standard is really, really important. But beyond that, extracurriculars are a huge driver for a lot of students, whether that be sports or music, or, Colorado has a lot of magnet schools that have really wonderful STEM programs or other specialized programs. And I think all of those things are just creating a stronger education system to serve the individual needs of every kid.
I think these are all really great facts for parents to get their hands on. Now, if we want to learn more information and if we want to make our voices heard as Coloradans on Proposition 138, what's the best way for us to go about that?
So the best way to get general school choice information would be to visit our website, federationforchildren.org. The best way to support school choice in Colorado right now is to call your legislator, tell them that you want school choice for your students, and then, of course, vote. Make sure you get out and vote when the proposition appears on the ballot.
And if it's not quite on our ballot yet, it is important that people make their voices heard to make Proposition 138 show up, correct?
That's right. Over 200,000 people have already signed the proposition in Colorado, and we want to keep that momentum going. This is a massive sign that people want school choice, and we got to keep up that momentum. We got to keep making voices heard.
And how many signatures do we need for it to show up on the ballot?
There's a validity threshold. I believe we're well past it already with the 200,000. I think the threshold was in the low 100s.
Nathan, thank you again for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this great information. Now, one more time, if people would like more information, where can they go?
federationforchildren.org. Also, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or other social media at Nathan Canine.
Thank you for taking the time to chat with us and giving us all this great information, and thank you for making a difference in our children's lives.
Thank you very much.
Make sure that you vote and you get your voice heard on Proposition 138. We want to see it on the ballot this year, and especially for those parents who have those very athletic kids here in our community. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that.
And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
For the latest and greatest trends in pop entertainment, Popstar Today brings you compelling celebrity lifestyle stories that matter most to you. From movies, music, TV, and streaming shows, to fashion, social media influencers, and the latest on who is seeing who. Join host Elizabeth Stanton as she digs deep and dives in. This is Popstar Today.
Good morning, Vail.
Do you love sandwiches? Well, did you know that August is National Sandwich Month? We're going to step into the kitchen with Kim, who's going to teach us how to make a really fun sandwich, and it's called a Caesar waffle. So let's go to the kitchen.
It's my favorite time in the show where I am in the kitchen trying out all kinds of new recipes and sharing my favorites. Now, you may have heard of chicken and waffles. I certainly have because I grew up in the South, but we're going to try something different. It's a viral TikTok recipe that I've seen, a chicken waffle Caesar salad. What in the world is that, you might ask? Well, I wondered the same thing, so we're giving it a shot. We already started working on our waffles, so we're gonna make it into a sandwich. So I'm making 2 mini waffles. It's about the size of an Eggo. I have one already going in the kitchen here. As you can see, it looks great. We've already kind of got it started, and I'll tell you all of the ingredients to put into our chicken waffle. We're just gonna set that over here. I've got Caesar salad mix. This is if you want an easy hack, or if you're feeling extra creative, you can make your own dressing, make your own Caesar salad, grab the romaine, roughly chop it. But we're gonna go for the sake of ease. We've got the Caesar salad mix already prepared at the grocery store. I'm gonna just set this right over here. Parmesan cheese, you can never have too much Parmesan cheese. Now I know that Caesar salad kit probably already comes with its own Parmesan cheese, but you never know. We're gonna always add more to it. You can even add it into the chicken mix if you want to, but we're gonna stay fresh. And then bacon, we want the bacon. Give me all of the bacon. That saltiness, it's just great. Now to make our waffle, we've got about 1 cup and 1/4 cup of shredded chicken. So you can buy it already pre-made. What we did is we took a rotisserie chicken and shredded it up, and then, or you can just cook yours at your own house, whether you are just baking some chicken and shredding it later, or you can buy it at the store. We've got 1 whole egg, plus paprika, we've got salt and garlic powder. So this is going to be a very simple recipe. We're gonna go ahead and get started to make our chicken waffle batter. So I'm gonna crack my egg. I like to make sure that I crack it on a hard surface away from my mixture, just so that I do not crack the shell into it. So I just cracked it on a flat surface. We're opening it up right there. Now I know the egg gets a little bit messy at times, but that's okay. You have paper towels and a towel to wipe your hands on, just like this, right? So we threw our egg in there, and then we're gonna take about 1/2 teaspoon of all of our spices. So we're gonna do about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And you know, if you're like me, most of the time you just wing it. But for measurement purposes and to make sure that I am sharing my secrets with you all, just gonna put that salt right in there. I used pink Himalayan sea salt, but you can use really any salt that you want to. Now paprika, you wanna make sure that you do just about 1/2 of a teaspoon of the paprika. Just dump it in there. Now you want to be careful to get regular paprika. If you have smoked paprika, that's fine. It just gives a little bit of a different flavor palette than what you would probably be used to in a traditional chicken Caesar salad. And then we've got 1/2 teaspoon of the garlic powder. In my opinion, you can never go wrong with too much garlic powder. Once we've done all of that with all of our spices, we're just going to take my fork, my handy dandy fork right here, just mix it all up. Make sure that you're breaking in that egg yolk. You're just gonna mix it all together. And what I love about this recipe is that the paprika gives the waffle a nice, like crisp, like orangey golden hue. So it also adds that to the chicken. Now, egg, you may wonder, you know, the chicken's already cooked. Why are we cooking it again? The egg is a really great binding agent for all things. So we could try to shred the chicken and put it on the waffle maker. It's not gonna stick together. That's why we've got the egg here. And the more shredded it is, the easier it is to manipulate. But we've got a rough shred here from the rotisserie chicken, straight from the grocery store. So this is about the extent of the cooking you're gonna do on this recipe. You can make your own bacon. We made our own bacon here, but you can also, another easy hack, just buy the bacon bits that are already made in the salad section at your local grocery store. So it's looking good. Everything is coated. We've got our garlic powder, our salt, the paprika, the egg, all binded around our chicken. And now we've had our little handy dandy waffle maker. I like to name him Bob. Bob has been heating up. He is ready to go. He is ready for us to grace him with our chicken presents. We're gonna go ahead and get started there. So Bob is nice and hot. You want to make sure it's hot before you put this chicken mixture on it. And then I'm just gonna take as much as I can. You know, you're gonna smush it down a bit, so feel free to put as much chicken on it as you want to. If you are a macro counter, or are kind of tracking what you eat on a daily basis, this is approximately 150 grams of shredded chicken. So that definitely helps if you're tracking those calories and those macros. This should give you about 2 waffles here. So we're gonna go ahead and get one started, and then I'll start working on that sandwich layer. Now be careful when you are shredding your chicken, you wanna make sure you don't get any bones. We did get a little piece of a bone there from that rotisserie chicken, and it's not gonna be very delicious if you were to bite into that. I'm just gonna layer that up. You can make it nice and pretty if you want to. You can already hear the sizzling of the egg and the chicken on our waffle maker. You know, it's time we start using things differently than their original intended purpose. You know, waffles can be used in any form or capacity. And I don't know about you, but I am constantly searching the internet for low-carb versions of things that I love. Well, this isn't necessarily what I would have anticipated to replace a traditional waffle, but I can tell you it's looking pretty good to me. So once our waffle is cooking, we're just gonna let it get nice and crisp. And as you can see on this one, it's a nice and crisp golden outside. The orange color comes from that paprika that we've added into it. So what we're gonna do here, we can do open face sandwiches, or if you want to, you can just smash it together and turn it into a waffle sandwich, which is obviously very delicious. We've got our chicken going. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna actually take some of our bacon and we're just gonna do a rough chop of it and dice it up. Now you wanna get it as crispy as possible, and it's okay if it's not. It's just not gonna give that same extra crunch that you might be looking for. We are avoiding the croutons in this recipe, and that's what the bacon typically would give that crunch in a normal Caesar salad. If you really want to be low carb, you can do like a turkey bacon. You can eliminate the bacon. You can look for a low calorie version of the Caesar salad or the Caesar dressing as well. And that really just helps kind of keep it very high protein, low carb, low sugar, and delicious. You know, Parmesan is one of my favorites. I can hear the waffle maker sizzling. You know it's working. You know it is crisping up. It's going to be delicious. I don't know. I also, I'm a big bacon girl, so I love that this recipe calls for that extra salt. And you know, if you are using regular bacon, because there is that saltiness in the bacon, you may want to go a little bit less in the salt in the chicken mixture. It's really up to you what kind of flavor profile you're looking for. Personally, I don't mind having salt, especially, you know, here in the mountains. There is a lot of hiking. You're sweating. You're not drinking enough water. You need those electrolytes to really fuel your body as you're continuing through the process. So chicken's sounding good, it's looking good. I'm just doing a little rough chop of this bacon here. You can chop it up a little bit more if you want to, but as you can see, I'm just going straight for these little, I'm just cutting it horizontally. I'll probably do a quick little rough chop, but it doesn't need to be very small. You just kind of chop it up just like that, looking great. And then as always, you can always rip it up. Again, the crispier your bacon is, the easier it will be to cut it. As you can see, the bacon's looking great. So we're just gonna put this chopped bacon back on the plate. While we do that, I'm gonna taste some of this bacon. Tastes like delicious, salty, and sweetness. Reminds me of breakfast. Now, we're looking at our chicken, our waffle here. You can see it's crisping up a little bit, but what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna push down on this just to make sure that's getting every single aspect and all the outer edges of this chicken waffle that we're making. You can hear the sizzling, so you know it's working. Now, here's a fun trick. I like things that are easy, that are in better bite sizes. So when I've got my bag of lettuce here and my Caesar salad mix. Now, it's a rough chop, just like this. You can kind of see the pieces are a little bit bigger. I personally am probably going to go ahead and dice it up a little bit further, just so that we can really make sure that when you're biting into it, you're not losing the whole salad out of your mouth like it typically happens when the lettuce pieces are too big. So we've got our diced bacon just like this. We've got all of the fixings of our salad kit here. I'm just going to put it straight on our platform. Yes, we've already diced up the bacon, but you're adding the bacon into it anyways. So we're just gonna go ahead and pull out the lettuce, listening to that chicken waffle cook. Now I'm gonna just do a rough chop. I'm not gonna chop it up a ton because it's already pretty ripped up. As you can see, we're just gonna gather it together and just do a quick. And you really wanna make sure that you have a nice sharp knife if possible. Usually knife injuries happen in the kitchen when your knife is dull, and so you wanna make sure that it's always sharp as possible. Looking good. We're just going to do a little bit more of a rough chop here, just like this. I love the smell of crisp lettuce, like the bottom parts of the romaine or like an iceberg lettuce. To me, that it just smells like summertime, ready for a cookout, ready to have a delicious Caesar salad or what have you. And I can smell the freshness and the aroma of this lettuce. It smells just like hydration and nutrition and outside, and it just, I'm dreaming. It's going to be great. All right, so we've got our lettuce roughly chopped. This one's looking good. We're going to leave it for another minute or two, just a little bit longer, to cut those outside edges. Now what we're going to do is assemble the sandwich. We've got our first part. You can make it an open face sandwich if you want to, but we're going to take that rough chopped lettuce, just put a little bit on it here, just like that. Now, if you have a big old waffle maker, that's always good, but I like these little mini bite sizes because it just reminds me of like Lego My Eggo as I was growing up as a kid. Now, we've got all of our dressing fixings here. Again, you can buy it all separately, or you can get it into your Caesar salad bag mix. I'm going to open it up, make sure it doesn't go flying everywhere. It comes with its own salt and pepper packets. We may use that, but we've already put some salt and pepper into it. And then you're going to just take some scissors, and we're going to do a light drizzle of the Caesar dressing. So I'm just going to take my scissors, and you can rip it. Usually there's like a little spot to rip it, but I like to just take just a tiny bit off the corner so that I can control the drizzle and make sure that it's going exactly where I want it to go. All right, we've got that here. We're going to drizzle the dressing over it just like that. It's okay if it gets a little bit messy, because messy is good. To me, a sandwich is supposed to be messy. You take a big juicy bite into it and it's going to be delicious. We'll put a little bit of our bacon on top of it. So again, if you're like, well, what about the protein? The protein is the waffle. We already made the chicken. We are golden there. A little bit of that protein there. And then I like freshly grated Parmesan. Now I know that this salad dressing mix comes with it, but I prefer to get one separately no matter what. We're going to go ahead and put some of this freshly grated Parmesan on here, just like that. Now, if you wanted to be fancy, you could always layer the Parmesan into the chicken mix as you're making the waffle. All right, we're just going to sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Looking good, and hope that our next waffle is ready for us to bite into. It's looking pretty darn good. I think we're going to go ahead and take it out. Now, it looks great to me. As you can see, there's your open face sandwich if you wanted to leave it just like that. We'll put this dressing just right here. And go ahead and grab a fresh, clean fork, because our other fork already has all of the egg mixture all over it, so we don't want to use that. Fresh, clean fork to pull this waffle out of the mix. Oh, I can see the steam coming off it. It looks great. We're just going to pop this on the top just like that. I'm going to flip it over because I'm going to cut it. This is going to be the fun part. We're going to watch me bite into this live on air. We'll see how that turns out. Oh, it looks great. I can hear the crunch of the lettuce when I cut it. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to bite into it. As you can see, pure protein, no carbs, a delicious Caesar salad chicken sandwich. We've got the chicken waffle, the bacon, the Parmesan, the Caesar dressing, and the lettuce. I have to say, I took too big of a bite for the television, but TikTok, I think you're onto something. Can't wait to try more of these fun recipes with you here in the kitchen.
Good morning, Vail.
Join us on the famous Leadville Railroad. This historic train ride takes you on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for an afternoon of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Our scenic train rides are a perfect place to bring families closer together while immersing them in the natural beauty and rich history of this picturesque region. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Make memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets available at LeadvilleRailroad.com.
Welcome to Nantucket Rope Bracelets. All of our stylish bracelets are handmade in our Nantucket workshop, using only the best non-shrinking line with soft, flexible finish. Find us at NantucketRopeBracelets.com and order your beautiful piece from Nantucket today.
Good morning, Vail.
With back to school right around the corner, it's important that you go back to school in style. Well, I'm joined by a lifestyle expert, Carmen Ordonez. Good morning, Carmen.
Hi, good morning, Maddie. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time to chat with us and give us some great information. Now, back to school is quickly coming our way. And so, what are some of the trends that we're seeing this year?
Absolutely. Well, this year we're seeing a resurgence of 90s inspired fashion, which is really exciting. So think fun and nostalgic pieces that combine both comfort and style, from jumpsuits to floral dresses. And one of the best places to find these trendy pieces is Shein. I mean, they're just known for consistently delivering a wide variety of affordable and stylish options for everyone. I mean, it's no wonder it's one of the most downloaded fashion apps.
And can you tell us what some of the must-haves this season are?
Yeah, so one of my top picks is the Shein Teen Girl Letter Patch Detail Overall Jumpsuit, which we see right here. It's super comfy, it's versatile, you can easily transition it from the summer to the fall. We paired it with the Shein Basic Form-Fitted Tee. Another must-have is the floral dress, and again, paired with the t-shirt for that 90s inspired look. And you can dress it up, you can dress it down. And one of the things that I love about Shein is that it's just very easy to stay on trend without breaking the bank. And they have sizes for kids of all ages, so you're able to find that perfect back-to-school outfit.
Now, let's shift gears a little bit. Instead of talking about kids, let's talk about those future college students and how they can decorate their dorm without breaking the bank.
Yes, well, it's very easy to decorate your dorm room on a budget. You know, it's all about finding those key pieces and knowing where to shop. For example, Shein has an amazing selection of affordable dorm decor essentials to help transform any space. You can add a blanket like this one in green for a pop of color and warmth, or how about this mini handmade knotted ball decor, which is another great find. And speaking of college, I also wanted to share real quick that Shein has a very exciting campus ambassador program. So it's perfect for those fashion-loving students. They recently held their second annual campus retreat in LA, and it's made of over 50,000 participants nationwide. They make part of this vibrant community. So you gain insights into the fashion industry. You also get to attend live as well as virtual events, and you just make valuable connections, which we all know as college students, you know, making those connections, you know, in preparation for entering the workforce is so important. So if you want to apply and learn more, you can do that on their website.
This is all great information. And now for people who don't know about Shein, where can they get it? It's just an app on your phone, right?
Yes, well, it's an app. It's also a website, but to make it even easier, if you want to search the entire back to school selection, all you have to do is search for BTS 2024. You can do that on the Shein app as well as Shein.com.
Thank you so much for giving us all this great information and inspiring some back to school looks with style this year. I love always knowing what the fashion trends are. And let's talk about fashion because you look amazing as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. This is also Shein.
Amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you so much, Maddie. It's always a pleasure speaking to you.
Make sure that you use the Shein app as you're making your way to back to school. It's a great way to get all of your shopping done in one place. That way you can order the clothes, have them delivered right to your house, and you can avoid the lines with shopping as well. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back, America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Tune into Coffee with America and start your day in the right direction, where we go over the latest and greatest in health, lifestyle, entertainment, and more. Start your day off on Coffee with America.
I'm Danella Richard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits. Eating some of the best cuisine, and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to danielle@tv8vail.com. We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Good morning, Vail.
Come on.
Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park. It's America's only mountaintop theme park. In fact, it's so high up that you need to take a gondola to get there.
My name is Arthur Wheeler. I'm the attractions manager here at Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park. A very unique place, right? We've got all of our natural attractions with our caves, and then we have 12 phenomenal other rides and attractions that we have here. Our latest addition is Defiance, which is our brand new 110-foot tall roller coaster, right? And fun fact, it actually has the steepest free fall drop west of the Mississippi. So my favorite ride here is Giant Canyon Swing. Every single time I ride it, right, my brain just never seems to get it, right? It's just, we're gonna get this full send off the cliff edge, and it's just this ultimately thrilling experience, right? It's rated among the top 3 scariest rides on Earth.
I wasn't quite ready to be sent off a cliff on a giant swing, but I did try the Alpine coaster. It's unlike any roller coaster I've ever been on. It's similar to an Alpine slide, but you have full control over your own speed. And if you're like me, you like to take things slow and take in the views. There's not a lot of fantasy or make-believe at this adventure park. The views are all Mother Nature, including these caves, which Arthur says have a lot of history.
In the late 1800s, the Darrow family began showing tours in our historic fairy cave that we have here, right? It's actually one of the first caves in the United States to have electric lights. And over time, that cave went from the Darrow family to the Preble family. This is where our current owner, Steve Beckley, comes into play. When Steve Beckley was in college, he began writing to Peter Preble, who was the owner of the mountain at the time, and trying to convince him, like he had found the caves and he wanted to, open these caves back up to the public and really kind of create this awesome experience. And it took over 10 years of writing Peter Preble before they were able to come to an agreement.
That persistence paid off, and now the public can enjoy the adventure park all year round.
During the winter season, we have Winter on the Mountain, where we have close to 1 million lights that we put on all of our various trees, right? So it's just well lit up and everything is just this magical kind of sparkle that you're gonna get in the winter.
Sounds like the perfect day off from skiing. For TV8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scar.
Let's take one final look at that local weather forecast for today. We will see those temperatures progressively warm up. 61 degrees around 8 a.m., a high of 79. 50% chance of rainfall. Afternoon thunderstorms are likely. A slight breeze coming out of the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour, helping cool that 79 degrees down just a little bit. Now, as we take a look at Vail by the hour, you can see partly cloudy skies starting us off first thing this morning. Scattered thunderstorms as we approach the afternoon, and then mostly cloudy skies as we approach the evening. That high settling in between that 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock hour. Now, as we take a look at that I-70 corridor, temperatures down in Denver nice and warm. 94 degrees in Denver, 20% chance of precipitation. 78 in Vail with a 50% chance of moisture. 83 in Avon, continuing with that 50% chance of precipitation. 86 in Eagle with a 40% chance of moisture, so just slightly decreasing as you make your way down valley. Now, as we take a look at Vail overnight tonight, temperatures are cooling down. 53 degrees is our overnight low. 20% chance of precipitation overnight tonight. Partly cloudy skies with that sun setting earlier and earlier by the day. 8:13 p.m. is when we're going to see that sunset go down. Now, we will see wind shift directions coming out of the south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we take a look ahead into the next 5 days, afternoon thunderstorms are going to be a trend that we're going to see throughout the course of the next 5 days. 40% chance of precipitation tomorrow, high of 78 degrees. 72 by Friday with a 70% chance of precipitation. 75 on Saturday with a 50% chance of moisture, and that's going to continue into Sunday with an increased chance of precipitation. 60% chance, high of 73 degrees. 71 by Monday with a 50% chance of moisture. So if you are getting out there to do anything, just make sure that you are prepared for the rain that we are anticipating to come our way. It's important that you pack that afternoon rain jacket with you and you keep yourself, your pets, and everyone nice and safe out there. So give yourself that little bit of extra travel time. We want to thank you so much for tuning in to TV8's Good Morning Vail. We love getting to be here every day to bring you some great community information. Now, make sure that you go online, you check out Proposition 138, and that way you can have a say in where your kids go to school. Make sure that you also look into using propane instead of diesel on our school buses. That way we can make them nice and safe for everyone and the environment. Thank you again so much for tuning in to this edition of Good Morning Vail. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
You know TV8 Vail